You know what the cruelest lie in the world is? That you're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough, not chosen enough. And the worst part, you started believing it. Every time you failed, it whispered a little louder. Every time someone else succeeded while you were still struggling, it grew stronger. And now, it's the voice you hear when you look in the mirror. It's the voice that greets you every morning and haunts you every night. But today, that lie dies. Because I'm about to show you something they don't want you to know. Something that separates the 1% who make it from the 99% who give up. Something so powerful that once you understand it, you'll never look at failure the same way again. And if you stay until the end, you'll understand why you've been quitting and exactly how to stop. Not theory, not fluff, the real answer. Here's the truth nobody talks about. You're not failing because you're weak. You're failing because you've been conditioned to quit at the exact moment before your breakthrough. Think about it. Every single person who's made it, the people you look up to, the ones living the life you dream about, they all have one thing in common. They're not smarter than you. They're not more talented. They didn't have some secret advantage handed to them on a silver platter. They just refused to quit when their brain was screaming at them to stop. And your brain? It's a survival machine. It wasn't built for success. It was built to keep you safe, comfortable, mediocre. It sees pain and says danger. It sees challenge and says threat. It sees the unknown and says, turn back now before it's too late. That's why you quit your workout plan after 2 weeks. That's why you abandoned that business idea when things got complicated. That's why you gave up on learning that skill when it didn't click immediately. Not because you couldn't do it, but because your brain convinced you that the temporary discomfort wasn't worth it, that it was safer to retreat back into your comfort zone, where everything felt familiar, even if it meant staying stuck. And here's what destroys people. They don't just quit once. They quit over and over and over until quitting becomes their identity, until it becomes the default setting of their entire life. You start seeing yourself as the person who never finishes anything, the one who always gives up, the one who's just not meant for success, the one who tries but never succeeds. And that becomes your reality. That becomes the story you tell yourself. That becomes the prison you live in. But let me tell you something else nobody talks about. Right now, in this exact moment, someone who started with less than you, less money, fewer connections, worse circumstances, more obstacles, is winning. They're building the business you thought about. They're achieving the body you dreamed of. They're living the life you said you wanted. Not because they're special, not because they're lucky, but because they made a decision you haven't made yet. They decided that the pain of staying the same was worse than the pain of pushing forward. They decided that regret was more terrifying than failure. They decided that they'd rather die trying than live wondering, what if? They decided that temporary suffering was worth permanent glory. And here's the part that should terrify you. Every day you quit, you're not just losing progress. You're rewiring your brain to accept defeat. Neuroscience proves this. Every time you quit when things get hard, you're literally training your neural pathways to choose the easy way out. You're teaching yourself that discomfort equals stop. You're programming yourself for failure. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes to quit next time, and the next time, and the next time after that. Until one day you wake up at 40, 50, 60 years old and you realize you never really tried. You never gave yourself a real chance. You spent your entire life running from temporary discomfort, and now you're stuck with permanent regret. You're stuck with a life half lived, with potential wasted, with dreams buried. Is that really how you want your story to end? Because right now, you're at a crossroads. One path leads to comfort, safety, and a lifetime of what-ifs. The other path? It's brutal. It's lonely. It's filled with failure after failure after failure, with late nights and early mornings, with doubt, fear, and pain. But at the end of that path is a version of you that you can't even imagine right now. A version that doesn't flinch at challenges. A version that doesn't need external validation. A version that doesn't ask for permission. A version that looks back at this moment and says, I'm so glad I didn't quit. The question is, which path will you choose? Because one of them leads to freedom, and the other leads to a life of wondering what could have been. So here's what you need to understand. Winning isn't about being the best. It's about being the last one standing. That's it. That's the secret they don't teach you in school. While everyone else is quitting after the first setback, after the second failure, after the third rejection, you just keep going. Not because it's easy, not because you feel motivated, but because you made a decision that no circumstance can change. Let me break this down into what actually works. 1. Stop waiting to feel ready. You will never feel ready. Never. That business idea, you'll never have all the answers before you start. That fitness goal, you'll never feel motivated every single day. That skill you want to learn, you'll never be confident enough to begin. That move you want to make, you'll never have the perfect timing. Successful people don't wait for readiness. They start scared. They start unprepared. They start while everyone else is still planning and researching and waiting for the right moment. Because here's the truth. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. You don't think your way into a new life. You act your way into one. The entrepreneur who built $1 million company, they started with a terrible first version that barely worked. The athlete who made it pro, their first training sessions were embarrassing, painful. The artist who went viral, their early work was garbage that nobody wanted to see. But they all had one thing in common. They started before they were ready. They figured it out along the way. They learned by doing. They got better through repetition, not preparation. 2. Embrace the suck. This is where most people fail. This is where dreams go to die. They think success is supposed to feel good, that motivation will carry them through, that it gets easier as you go. It doesn't. It gets harder. The challenges get bigger. The pressure gets heavier. The stakes get higher. The doubt gets louder. But here's what changes. You get stronger. Every single day you push through when you don't want to, you're building an unshakable version of yourself. You're forging mental armor. You're developing the one skill that matters more than anything else: resilience. The workout that almost broke you today, in 6 months, it'll be your warm-up. The skill that feels impossible right now, in a year you'll teach it to others. The rejection that crushed you this week, in 5 years you won't even remember it. The obstacle that seems insurmountable today, next year you'll laugh at how small it really was. But only if you don't quit. See, discomfort is not your enemy. It's your proof. Proof that you're growing. Proof that you're pushing beyond your limits. Proof that you're becoming someone new. Proof that you're actually doing something worth doing. The moment you learn to sit in that discomfort instead of running from it, everything changes. You become
unstoppable. 3. Redefine failure. You need to understand something fundamental. Failure isn't the opposite of success. Quitting is. Failure is data. Failure is feedback. Failure is proof that you're actually trying. Failure is the price of admission to greatness. Every failure brings you one step closer to winning, not because of some mystical universe law, but because you're learning what doesn't work. You're eliminating dead ends. You're getting smarter with every attempt. Thomas Edison didn't fail 10,000 times. He discovered 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. Each failure brought him closer to the one way that worked. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Then he became the greatest of all time. He used that rejection as fuel. Oprah was fired from her first TV job and told she was unfit for television. Now she's a billionaire media mogul who changed the industry. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon that defined a generation. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company, the company he built from nothing, before coming back to make it the most valuable brand on earth. Colonel Sanders was rejected 1,009 times before someone said yes to his chicken recipe. He was 65 years old when he started. 65. What do they all have in common? They treated failure as a stepping stone, not a stop sign. They failed more than you. They got rejected more than you. They faced more obstacles than you. They heard no more times than you can count. But they kept going. They kept pushing. They kept believing when no one else did. 4. Build your evidence stack. Here's a psychological trick that changes everything. Every time you push through when you want to quit, you're building evidence that you're the kind of person who doesn't quit. Start small. Finish that workout even when you're tired. Send that email even when you're scared. Study that extra hour even when you're exhausted. Wake up early even when your bed feels perfect. Do the thing you said you'd do, even when you don't feel like it. These aren't just actions. They're proof. Proof that you're building a new identity. Proof that you're becoming someone different. Because here's what happens. The more evidence you stack, the harder it becomes to quit. Your brain starts seeing you differently. Oh, I'm actually the person who follows through. I'm the person who finishes what they start. I'm the person who doesn't break promises to myself. I'm the person who does hard things. And that identity, that's unstoppable. It's not about motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. It's about identity. When not quitting becomes who you are, not just what you do, that's when you become dangerous. That's when nothing can stop you. 5. Understand this brutal truth. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your friends, not some miracle opportunity, not some perfect moment, not some lucky break. The life you want is on the other side of the work you're avoiding right now. And the longer you wait, the further it gets. Every day you delay, it moves another step away. But here's the beautiful part. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fearless. You don't even need to be confident. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be relentless. Relentless means showing up on the days you don't want to. Relentless means trying again after you fail. Relentless means pushing forward when everyone tells you to stop. Relentless means going when everyone else quits. 6. Master the 72-hour rule. Here's something most people don't know. The most dangerous time to quit is 72 hours after you start something new or after you face a major setback. That's when the initial excitement wears off. That's when reality hits hard. That's when your brain says, See? I told you this was too hard. Let's go back to what's comfortable. That's when most people quit. That's the graveyard of dreams. If you can push through those first 72 hours, again and again and again, you will win. Because most people can't. Most people quit in that window. They give up when the newness fades and the real work begins. They fold when the going gets tough. But you're going to be different. You're going to push through. You're going to outlast. You're going to outwork. One more thing. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. That person you're jealous of on social media, they had years of failures you never saw. Nights where they cried themselves to sleep. Moments where they almost quit. Dark times where nobody believed in them. Rock bottom moments where they questioned everything. But they didn't stop. And that's the only reason they're winning now. You have that same choice. Every single day.
So here's what happens next. You have two options. Option 1. Close this video. Go back to scrolling. Tell yourself you'll start tomorrow just like you did yesterday and the day before. Add this to the pile of inspiration that changed nothing. Wake up a year from now in the exact same place. Or worse. Keep living the same day over and over until it becomes your entire life. Option 2. Make a decision right now. Not a wish, not a hope, not a maybe, but a decision that you will not quit. Not today, not this week, not this year, not ever. Pick one thing, just one. That goal you abandoned, that dream you buried, that version of yourself you gave up on, that thing you keep saying you'll do someday, and commit to it for the next 90 days with everything you have. Not when you feel like it, not when it's convenient, not when the conditions are perfect. Every single day. No excuses, no negotiations, no, I'll start Monday, no after the holidays, no when things calm down. Now, because I promise you this. 90 days from now, you'll either be thanking yourself or hating yourself. There's no in between. There's no neutral. You either win or you wonder what could have been. And when it gets hard, and it will get hard, when your brain is screaming at you to quit, when everyone around you is doubting you, when the results aren't showing yet, when it feels like nothing is working, remember this moment. Remember that you decided to be different. Remember that winners aren't born. They're forged in the fire of wanting to quit and choosing not to. Remember that every champion was once someone who refused to stay down. You will face rejection. Push forward. You will face failure. Push forward. You will face doubt. Push forward. You will face exhaustion. Push forward. You will face loneliness. Push forward. You will face fear. Push forward. Because on the other side of all that pain is a life that most people only dream about. A life where you don't just talk about goals, you achieve them. A life where you don't just survive, you dominate. A life where you don't need permission, you take what's yours. A life where you don't ask, what if? You know, because you did it. A life where you look back and say, I can't believe I almost quit. So let me ask you one final question. What if this time you actually didn't quit? What if this was the moment everything changed? Not because of some magic formula, not because success got easier, but because you finally became the person who refuses to give up. The person who outruns their excuses. The person who doesn't need motivation because discipline carries them. The person who turns pain into power and setbacks into comebacks. The person who makes the impossible look easy because they refused to quit when it was hard. You will win. But only if you don't quit. Now get out there and prove everyone wrong, including that voice in your head that said you couldn't do it. The war is won one battle at a time. And today is your battle. Tomorrow, another battle. Next week, another battle. But you're going to win the war. Your future is watching. Make it worth watching. The world needs your greatness, but you have to choose it right now. If this hit you deep, don't just watch. Smash that subscribe button, drop one word in the comments. Won't quit, and share this with someone who's about to give up. Be the reason someone doesn't quit today. Your future self is watching. Make them proud.